This demo contains 3 main parts. Chapter 1, Plotter installation. Chapter 2, Control Center installation and main functions. Chapter 3, After-sale service. Now, we begin from Chapter 1, Plotter installation. First, use the dial indicator to test the main beam and guide in parallel. Make sure the dial indicator hand points to the 0. To push the cartridge device slowly, and make sure the dial indicator hand move no more than 50 Y. If OK, that means the main beam and guide are in parallel. Use the calipers to test the parallelism and make sure the bars are in parallel. Take the main beam as reference. The deviation of distance between main beam and takeout bar at both sides should be less than 0.5 mm. Take the takeout bar as reference. The deviation of distance between takeout bar and the connecting bar at both sides should be less than 0.5 mm. Take the connecting bar as reference. The deviation of distance between connecting bar and the feed bar at both sides should be less than 0.5 mm. Install cartridge device. Install the cable bracket on the cartridge device. Put the cartridge device on the guide. Pinch the up and down ends of cartridge device and tighten the 2 up screw caps. Adjust the cartridge device. Adjust the 4 screws downwards or upwards to the suitable position. Shake the cartridge device until no big movement. Also use your finger against the wheel and no rotation. Note: this situation means the cartridge device is too loose. This situation means the cartridge device is too tight. Install flat cable. Make sure the flat cable and printhead PCB board is right. Plug the flat cable into the right slot of printhead PCB board. Please plug the blue flat cable into the print PCB board A, while plug the white flat cable into the print PCB board B. Printhead PCB board A is in the right position. Printhead PCB board B is in the left position. Fix the cartridge stand on the connecting board, then fix them on the cartridge device. Fix one side of iron tablet on the bracket and not tighten it at the very beginning. Put the flat cable on the cable board. Fix the iron tablet and not tighten it. Leave some flat cable to disassemble it when you do after-sale service. Then tighten the iron tablet. Make sure the flat cable is in the middle position of the iron tablet and not crushed by the iron tablet. Fold the flat cable and make sure the flat cable can be put in the middle position of the guide slot. Where the grid line fix on the other iron tablet. Make sure the flat cable should be in parallel with the guide. Then pass the flat cable under the cable board. Push the cartridge to the leftmost side of the plotter and make sure the cartridge device will not pop up. Stick double-sided adhesive on the guide slot and stick one flat cable on it. The same way to stick the other flat cable. Finally, use a PTFE tape to cover the flat cable. Install gear belt. Make sure the gear belt is the right one. Loose the tension device and make it plot to the left plate. Use a pin lower to fix one side of the gear belt on the cartridge device. Pass the gear belt from the hole of left plate and a tension roller to the right plate. Pass from the hole of right plate and Y model roller. Finally, use the pin roller to fix the other side of gear belt on the cartridge device. Note: make sure the gear belt is not twisted during installation. Guaranteed 3 nuts in the same plane. Pull the gear belt with tension dynamometer and the pull should be 1.5 kg. Finally, tighten the screws. Install the printing PCB board. Fix the printing PCB board on the plotter. Plug the 15 voltage power socket. Plug the 4-line servo encoder socket. Plug flat cable. Plug 8-line panel cable. Plug 16-line USB cable socket. Install driving PCB board. Fix the driving PCB board on the plotter. Plug the 2-line servo cable. Plug take-up motor 2-line cable socket. Plug feeding motor 2-line cable socket. Plug sending motor 2-line cable socket. Plug 24 power socket. Plug 4-line speed monitor encoder cable socket. Plug magnetic approaching sensor front. Plug magnetic approaching sensor down. Plug magnetic approaching sensor up. Plug 16-line USB cable socket. Install printing paper. Pass the feeding bar from the paper roll. Make sure the paper roll rotates in counterclockwise. Fix the paper roll with paper holder aluminum. Make sure the paper roll in the middle position of the feeding bar. Pass the printing paper from the connecting bar and the main beam and put down the handle behind the plotter. Squeeze the printing paper with paper balls at the 2 sides of the plotter. Adjust the cartridge stand. Inkjet cartridge was adjusted in correct position before shipment from our factory, so normally it's not necessary to adjust it again. However, if you do need to adjust the cartridge device, please loosen screws and move cartridge up and down. Keep the distance around 2 mm. There is a ruler in our toolbox, and you can use this to test the distance. Note to keep printhead nozzle surface parallel with main beam surface while moving cartridge up and down. Please note the right way to insert cartridges. Turn off the power. Insert the cartridge slowly and gently to the stand and put down the lid. The same way to take away the cartridge. Chapter 2. Control Center Installation and the main functions. First, connect the computer and plotter with LAN cable. Insert the CD into the driver. Open and run the dotnetfx.exe file. Then install our control center. Follow the plotter setup wizard Finish the settings. In case not connected with the LAN, then close the interface now. In case connected with the LAN, change the IP address the same as while the plotter is working. The way to set the plotter to factory default data. First, press pause and the pause light will be on. Press up and down at the same time. After hearing the IP address and parameters will be back to our factory default setup data. Open the control center. Click Setup, Plot Parameters, Plot Type, Toolhead, Save. Input the parameters on the paper into Control Center. Set the right start head position. Now let me introduce the main functions of the Control Center. Directory. Choose one folder. Put all those files need to be printed in this folder. Click Directory and click Auto Plot. Then the plotter will print all the files. File. Choose the file you want to print. Click it. Then the plotter will print this file. Merge. Click Merge and then choose some small files. Our control center will arrange these small files together and print them. Split. For example, the max printing width of the plotter is 165 cm, but now you want to print 1.8 meter file. Then you can use this function. Click Setup, Plot Parameter, Other, File Width 16. Then click Split. Then our control center will split the file into two files and print. Also, you can choose a rotate function to rotate the file and then to print. Stack the same shape files which are in different sizes together to print. Auto Plot. All the files will be printed automatically. Auto Split. All the files will be split automatically. Backup. You should back up the plotter parameters in your computer. In case encounter problems, you can restore the parameters. In case the plotter stopped suddenly while not finished the printing, you can continue the file by inputting the lines quantity while stopped in the initial print lines, then can continue the print. Help. You can find the plotter information and manual in the help. Now I will introduce you the two functions of our PopJet C-Z series. One is auto feeding option. The other is feeding paper use the take-up bar. Now the first function, auto feeding option. When using auto feeding option, you have two ways to use the plotter. The first one, to print the paper on the floor directly in auto feeding option. Here you need to be careful with the following 2 points. First, choose the right sandpaper model in the control center. Second, put down the encoder roller, and also you have to put down the feed paper roller. Second, take paper on the take-up bar in auto feeding option. Note, the aluminum tension bar is only used in the front slide slot. The steel tension bar is only used in the back slide slot. You also need to put down the encoder roller and feeder roller, and also the right sandpaper model in our control center. The second function, paper feeding using take-up bar. Lift the handle at the back of the plotter, so the feed paper rollers will be lifted. Put down the encoder roller. This is very important. Choose the right sandpaper model in our control center. Stick paper in the right way on our take-up bar. Keep the paper stretched tight and make sure the edge of paper at both sides are in alignment. Stick paper on the take-up bar from middle position to both sides. Make sure the paper is smooth and tight. Chapter 3. After-Sales Service. Here, after-sales service contains two parts. Adjustable problems in the control center. Unadjustable problems. First, adjustable problems. Accuracy calibration. Calibrate the accuracy of the changing paper roll because sometimes the paper thickness is different, so you need to adjust the accuracy. Use the CAD to draw an 1 × 1 meter file and print it. Measure the actual data with a ruler and input the data in the control center. Click Save. Our control center will calculate automatically. Bidirectional printing adjustment. In case print line quality problems. In case line quality problems, you can print the file in our CD, which is specially for line quality adjustment. Then follow below steps. Step 1. Print mark by single printing, not bidirectional printing. Change cartridge 1 positive or change cartridge 2 positive. In case line quality good, then do step 2. Step 2. Print mark by bidirectional printing. Change cartridge 1 negative or change cartridge 2 negative. Step 3. After step 1 and step 2, middle line's quality should be okay. In case left side or right side line quality not good enough, then change rest uneven data. Total 8 data can be changed. Note: ink cartridge must be vertical with plotter's guide, cannot turn left or turn right. Nozzle surface must be parallel with plotter's main beam. Second, uneven deviation 1 only for lines which are within 5 cm area from marker's left side or 5 cm from marker's right side. Third, uneven deviation 2 only for lines which are within 10 cm area from marker's left side or 10 cm from marker's right side. Problems cannot be adjusted in the control center. Alarm signal is on for 2 seconds and off for 1 second. There are maybe 2 reasons. First, in case the light, error, and in-out are on the same time, please check and change the cartridge. If problem not solved, maybe something wrong with the printing PCB board. Second, cartridge device move to the left slowly and hit the plotter right plate. You need to set the ink cartridge detector interval as 0 in our control center. Alarm signal is on 1 second and off 2 seconds. There may be 4 reasons. First, if the cartridge device stopped during printing and the position is arbitrary, can be here and there, push the cartridge device to the middle position and check where it can go back to the start right position. If it can go back, it means the Y model may have some problem. Second, in case the print speed is very slow and the plotter stopped at any position, maybe 2 control centers are in operation. Third, in case the plotter gives alarm every time you click plot, there is something wrong with the printing PCB board. Or if the plotter can give alarm signal during printing while stop at the same position, there is something wrong with the printing PCB board. Fourth, when you turn on the plotter, the cartridge device cannot go back to the start position. Maybe something wrong with the printing PCB board or driving PCB board. Alarm signal is on every 0.5 seconds. There are maybe 7 reasons. First, check the encoder roller has been put down or not. Second, something wrong with the driving PCB board. Third, check the control center settings. Fourth, speed monitor's problem. Fifth, in case the plotter gives alarm when beginning to print, please check the setup is right or not in the control center, and the control center version is right or not. 6. Y model's problem. 7th, printing PCB board problem. The lines are deviated more and more serious during printing, and the cartridge device hits the plate. There are maybe 2 reasons. First, gear belt is too loose, and please tighten it. Second, Y model is damaged. Print ink looks abnormal. There are maybe 4 reasons. First, please check the cartridge damaged or not. Second, printing PCB board damaged or not. Third, printing head PCB board damaged or not. Fourth, flat cable damaged or not. Paper feeding cannot stop, or when you turn on the plotter, do not feed paper. There are maybe 3 reasons. First, please check the sensors damaged or not. Use a metal object to close the sensor. In case when you approach it, the LED is on and darken when you take away. That means the sensor is okay. In case LED is on all the time or not on, that means the sensor is damaged. Second, driving PCB board is damaged. Third, feeding motor is damaged. How to replace the speed monitor. First, loose the screws. Adjust the speed monitor. Make the monitor's roller is 1 mm higher than the main beam surface. Second, after installation, check the monitor roller is flexible or not when rotated. The ways to replace the PCB boards or models or gear belt or flat cable, please take reference in Chapter 1. Thanks very much for watching our Synerjet CD.